Good morning and welcome to Prairie Acres Farm. So today in this video, I thought instead of doing a cheese video, which I will be doing here soon, we just got over the Christmas rush of the markets and creating all kinds of different cheeses. So for the Lumberton Farmers Market and Vendors Fair, I had 26 different varieties of cheeses, and it went over so well. So I am incredibly thankful and incredibly blessed for all your support and for all of those that turned out and showed up. It was just an incredible event, and I just want to thank you so much. So for today's video, what I thought I would do is I would go out and show you the property. So I am officially on baby watch. So in other words, I've got babies that could be hitting the ground any day. So today is the official due date for my goats. And then Christmas is the official due date, or the earliest due date that my cow Carmen could give birth. So here we go. I'm going to just turn you around and I will try and point out to you everything. All right. So this is our property. So this is supposed to be my citrus grove, but last year the frost got to it. I just kind of let it grow to see what would happen. I'm really not expecting a whole lot. So this is our north pasture, and this is where we bring the goats and the cows for grazing. So what we try and do, depending on the pasture, is to do rotational grazing. So our property line basically goes from this fence right here all the way back to that fence, and then our property line actually goes past that utility pole. Technically the property line goes out to the middle of the highway, but yeah, we don't do much with that. So what we've done is just fenced off this north paddock, and then straight ahead you can see my beehives. I've got 3 hives right now, and in the spring I'm getting 3 more, and hopefully I can catch some swarms this year. I don't want to get too close because I'm not protected, but they're doing really well. They're still active, so I'm really happy about that. And then this is basically our front yard. As you can see, I've got some muscadine grapevines going on, and then I've got all kinds of fruit trees. Now several of them died over the last couple of years because we had a really bad drought. And then this here's the front of my house. So I've got some fig trees. These here are supposed to be Olympian fig trees, the biggest figs that you can get, but they've not produced anything for me yet. And I've got peach trees and pear trees and apple trees, the standards. But because of the drought, we've not really gotten anything off of them. Now this here is our Cortland apple tree. I did have 1 apple on it this year, but it really didn't do anything else. So we'll just see what happens in the next year or so. What my husband did was he took some cow manure and he put all kinds of cow manure around the base of the trees as a fertilizer. So what we are coming up on the south paddock. This is the last paddock that needs to get fenced in. Poor David, he has been working a lot with his full-time job, so we just haven't had the time to get this fenced in. What he's going to do at some point is he's going to lay down a heavy layer of manure and try and get some native grasses going. And I apologize for the noise. This is a very busy highway, and we get a lot of traffic. Had I known that when we bought the place, I probably would have rethunk it. But we didn't know, and we love the property, we love the acreage, so it is what it is. So this here is our barn. It is, I believe it's 40 feet by 10, 20 by about 30. I'm pretty sure it's 30, no wait, 12. I think it's 40 by 36, but don't quote me on that one. I'm horrible with measurements. And this here was not here when we bought the property. We had a contractor come in and he built this. Charged us way too much money. And had I known at the time how much he was overcharging, I probably would have chosen someone else. So I'm not going to go into the paddocks, but straight ahead from that concrete pad over there to the back fence right there, and all the way over to almost that driveway, that's our property. And if you can see the cows in the distance, we've got 3 jerseys on the property and Chuck. And Chuck is actually going to the processors day after Christmas. We tried to get him in last week, but we could not get him into the truck no matter what we did. I mean, he broke down fences and everything. So, but off in the distance you can see one of the cows. I can't make out which one it is. I'm pretty sure it's Ruth. And then this one straight ahead is Chuck. And then we've got Carmen. Carmen is always very distinctive because she's got a white patch across her shoulders. And she's the one that is due on Christmas Day. So I am on baby watch with her. And then over here, I believe that is Josie. So right now we are milking Josie and Ruth. And then once Carmen delivers, we're going to dry up Josie and milk Ruth. That way we've got 2 jerseys in rotation. Now if the artificial insemination worked on Josie, she should be pregnant. I will test her. I'll give her a blood test about January 9th in that time frame and see if she's pregnant. But this here is our east paddock. So our east paddock goes from that fence over here all the way back, and then we've got a division. Now my husband David, he's going to be readjusting all of this, so that fence line that is separating the east paddock from the pond paddock is going to get removed. And then this fence right here is going to get removed. And yeah, so David is just reorganizing based on the needs of the cows and the needs of the property. And then right here is my milking paddock. This is where I will bring the goats once they deliver. And you'll understand a little bit more here in a minute why. So let me turn you around. So David has been really hard at work this last weekend, because this front part of the property, or of the barn, this is where he was doing a lot of his work. And because we needed to have more space for the cows and the goats, he's redoing everything. So this past weekend he made this goat run. This is what I affectionately call my maternity ward. And this little girl here, her name is Iris, and that's Maggie. Let me bring you around. And this one here is Lily, and then that's Bonnie, Cinnamon. That one there is Dahlia. Dahlia was the very first goat born on our farm. And then this little girl here, that's Clover. And then these two little lovelies, this one here is Sweet Pea, and this one here is Buttercup. And that one there is Coco, and that's Hannah. This one here is Screech. And then Nutmeg and Dottie. So these are my girl goats. Now I do keep my goats separated from the bucks when they're not in the mating season, just because when I go to milk, I do not want the bucks' scent to contaminate the milk. And as you can see, Nutmeg is getting ready, because she's got, well, right now it's just a little bit of hay on her back end, but it wouldn't stick there if she didn't have a little bit of mucus. Oh, hi Hannah. Hey baby. Hi Hannah. And this is Hannah. She loves to get loves, don't you? Yes, you do. Now when they are this far along, a lot of times my goats will get very friendly and allow me to pet them. Now Sweet Pea and Buttercup, they were bottle fed, so they will come up to me and let me pet them and love on them. And same with Clover. Clover wasn't bottle fed, but I had acclimated her very, very early on, and so she will come up to me. But so this here is my maternity ward, and so my husband David, he's going to be redoing the back here. He's going to be making this pen a little bit bigger, and then bringing this side down a little bit, and that will also give him more space. And then what he's going to do on this side is he's going to be removing this board here, or this fence line, and he's going to be making the cow pasture, or the cow pen, a little bit bigger. That way when the cows are coming in to get milked, they've got a little bit more space. So this here is the back end of the milk area. So this here is just a barn door, and it slides open, and the cows will go up the ramp and then into the milking stanchion. Let me take you around and show you. Oh, before I forget, so this here is our hay loft. So all of our hay we get locally or semi-locally. Our alfalfa, or 3-string alfalfa, we get in Lufkin. And then our bahia, which you can see in the back there, we get that from one of our neighbors. And yeah, so that's our hay loft. And then on this side is just storage, chicken plucking stuff, all kinds of stuff. And then this here sign was made for me by a guy on the internet. 3D something. I don't remember, but he did an awesome job with that. I just love it. And it fits perfectly inside of the door. Now the door was custom built by a friend of ours. His name is David, and he goes to church with us, and so he built this door for us. This here is the milk room, and so we've got 2 full-size refrigerators. This one here is a freezer, and then this one here is a refrigerator. So once the milk is milked, it comes in here, and it is triple filtered and then put in jars and put in the refrigerator to get cold. And then this here is a heat on-demand water heater. We can get, I believe it's 3 gallons at a time of really almost boiling hot water. So it's really great because we can sterilize as we go. And this here is our milking room. Let me turn the light on. So, as I showed you earlier, the cows will come up that ramp right there, and this door opens. And the cows, it will open more, but just for demonstration purposes. So the cows will come up the ramp and come into the stanchion. We'll lock them into place, and then they are milked. And what's really cool is we have a Melasti milking machine. So the way this works is obviously by air, but we can milk basically the cows, and then over on this side is the goats. So I'm going to be getting ready to get all of that cleaned up and sterilized and get the goat milking hoses hooked up. So, and then right here is the goat stanchion. So once the girls give birth, I'll be hooking up the goat stanchion. It will go right here in this space. And then this here is where this pen comes in handy. So once the girls are delivered and they've bonded with their babies, they'll come out here to this milking area. Right now it's incredibly dirty because the cows were getting in here. So, but the girls would be in this area here, and this is what we're going to be extending. So basically this whole wall is going to get extended out that way, and this is going to give the girls more room once they deliver, because their babies will be out here as well. And then what I do with the goats is the same thing that I do with the cows once they delivered. Is basically I do a calf share, but with the goats. Once the babies are able to handle being out on their own, or not out on their own, but when the babies are ready to be left alone overnight, usually about a week to 2 weeks, depending on the baby. I evaluate that at the time. Then they can be left overnight. Mama can have that milk ready for me in the morning. I milk them, get that milk, and then the babies go on them all day long. And it's the same thing with the cows. Once the babies are able to be off of mama all night, then they're separated, and then I milk the cows in the morning. Now, I haven't had a baby since Chuck, and that's Chuck right down there. I hope you guys can see. Like I said, he is Carmen's baby, and he was born on the farm, and we raised him out to be a beef cow. I don't know if we'll do that again, because he got quite expensive. So, but you can see Carmen in the distance. She's the one with the white shoulder. And then the other two cows. So, and then our property goes basically this tree line on the other side of the fence all the way back to that corner right over there. I hope you guys can see. And then our somewhat pond. That pond dries up during the summer, and then it kind of gets water in it during the rainy season, but it's really a useless pond. And then as we walk over this way, so you can see my bucks here. That's the buck pen. We've got two Nigerian dwarf bucks. One is registered and one is not. And then our chicken run, and the chicken run is going to be coming out this way as well. We're going to be extending that to give them more room. And then we've got two peacocks. Now the story behind the peacocks is we had 5 adult peacocks, and last year we had a bobcat attack, and we had them in this area here. We were just getting ready to build an aviary for them, and the bobcats came, I believe it was like August or September, and somehow or another they got into the temporary aviary that we had them in, and I still don't know how they did it because it was totally enclosed. But they got in and they killed all of my adult birds, and the only reason why they did not get to the babies was because the babies were in a different area. Let's turn off these lights. But anyway, so along with that bobcat attack, I actually had 30 plus goats last year, and the bobcats just kept on coming back and just killing my goats for sport. They didn't take off with any of the anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. They just killed them, and there was like no rhyme or reason to it. And so I was really upset because they were mega pregnant. They actually killed one, my favorite, her name was Blue. They killed her right when she was in the process of giving birth to twins. So I was incredibly upset with them. Hey, Cinnamon. Hey, Nutmeg. Hey, Nutmeg. Hey, Nutmeg. But anyway, so these are my girls. So as you can see on her back end, she's got that straw sticking to her, but I can also see a little bit of mucus. So she is very close to giving birth. And their udders are filling up. The one that actually took me by surprise was Screech. Within the last week, Screech's udder went from very flaccid to being very full. So I was kind of surprised by that. And she's a first-time freshener. And I got that little girl down at our local auction house, Gore Auction. And yeah, she's just a sweet little goat. And I call her Screech because when I first got her, that's all she did. She just screeched. And so that became her name. Hey, Lily girl. Hey, Lily girl. Hey, Dahlia. Hey, my girl. Yeah, all of these girls are so close to delivering. And that one there is Coco. Now Coco, she did not look like she was pregnant, so I put her in with the bucks, and she did not like that at all. She totally stressed out. Cinnamon, you be nice. But anyways, when goats get stressed out, like majorly stressed out, if they've got any kind of a parasite, it will like just exasperate. And so she ended up with a very large parasite load. I actually thought we were going to lose her, and so I dosed her with 3 different parasite treatments, and then I also gave her some penicillin and dexamethasone, a couple, probably over 4 days, and it took almost 2 full weeks for her to come out of that. So this is actually her first day back in with the herd, because we actually had her over in the milking pen as a sick area. So but that's kind of why the other goats are being a bully to her, because she's being reintroduced into the herd. But her and Screech are tight. They really love each other, and so I'm kind of glad that Coco is back up on her feet and is able to be with Screech. But yeah, so we are on official baby watch. So today I will come out several times and just keep an eye on them, especially Nutmeg, because I see the mucus string. And just because you see a mucus string doesn't mean that they're going to give birth, but they are very, very close. Now, it is very possible that she could give birth today. Her side is concaved in a little bit. You can see it. Ooh, I saw the baby move. But that means that she's dropped. So all of those are really good signs that she is very close to delivering. And so once I see a really good progression, we've got kidding panels, and so I'll make a pen for her, bed it down, and she'll go in there to, if I catch it in time, to deliver. But if I don't catch it in time, then I can put her and baby into a kidding pen and let them bond. But the other one that I'm keeping my eye on is Dahlia. Dahlia has been laying down a lot lately. I don't see any mucus trails or mucus strings, so I just keep my eyes open. All right, so that is the tour. So I hope you had basically an eye-opening, I don't know what to call it. Just basically what we do here. Like I said, we are a very, very small farm, so it is not like we've got a huge operation. But we are very close, if not maxed out on property area. So I evaluate that each year. So, oh, and before I go, this here is my raised bed area. This here is where I'm growing some herbs. My rosemary is still doing beautiful. I've got some Swiss chard right here. We did have some tomato plants in here, but the frost killed them. So I've got some beautiful mullein over there, some echinacea, thyme, and all kinds of wonderful plants. And then my husband's moringa trees. So we've still got a lot of plants that are doing well. I don't know if I'll be able to harvest anything yet because we've had a couple frosts already. But while we're over here, let's go say hi to the boys. And that pretty boy, his name is Silver, and that one is Jude. And they are great bucks. I did have 3, but earlier this year we lost one to parasites. So the thing about Southeast Texas is that when we get a lot of rain, the parasites just seem to just hit us hard. And I had vaccinated them and gave them their dewormers and everything else, and it still did not help. I still ended up losing, I think about 4 animals this year. And like I said, I followed all of the protocols and everything, and I still ended up losing a few animals to parasites. And if you're in a farming business, you totally understand that. So I want to thank you so much for coming on the farm tour with me and just being able to see what we do here. I will try and come back here soon. It probably won't be until after Christmas, but I will be making some more cheese. Right now I'm concentrating on my long-term or my long aging cheeses, such as Parmesan and aged cheddar and so forth. And if Santa heard me, I'm going to get a cold smoker for Christmas, and I will be smoking provolone. So I will bring you along for all of that, and we'll just go from there. So from the bottom of our heart, we thank you so much for being with us today. I hope you enjoyed the small farm tour and what we've got going on. But most importantly, I wish you a very blessed Christmas, and we will see you in the new year. Bye.